Just a few things I want to make sure that I get a chance to say. And it's been an awesome weekend. I mean, it's just the way this place comes together. The Remembrance Run, 15,000 people. Our guys were in the stadium again this year. Took some guys to the finish line. It's just an awesome, it's a great example of what Virginia Tech's all about. The fans today, I keep saying it, the support. You're coming off of a 3-8 season. We got 25,000 people, I bet, out there at the spring game. Excited and passionate. The whole weekend, we had a networking night Thursday. We had lettermen come back. We had local businessmen and women come and do mock interviews with our juniors and seniors, resumes, business cards, how'd you get your first job, and then to follow it up with our Monogram Clubs event that the Edmonds Brothers does was awesome, that they finance. The recruits that were all over this weekend, the benefactors gala. There's just so many things that were awesome about the weekend and a testament to Virginia Tech and the excitement and the support behind this football program. So we've got a family picnic for our players in the indoor right now. Big spread for them to spend time and us to spend time with our families. But I wanted to make sure we talked about that because it's important. And it is what makes this place so special. So, I think the spring games always, I had some coaches want to do it a little bit different. We tried to make it as even as we could, but particularly with the offensive line, it's challenging. I think the white teams just didn't quite have the front that you'd like to see. We had some guys not play today because of some minor injuries. Xavier Chaplin and some others. We had a couple wideouts out, a couple of tight ends out, and a couple of offensive linemen. But, our roster is not where it needs to be yet. When you split it, you got some weak spots that can show up, and, that happened a little bit today. But I was pleased. We were efficient. We only had 4 penalties. The kicking game was pretty clean. The operation was pretty clean. I don't think the turnovers were necessarily bad decisions, tipped balls. The defense did a good job getting on. So I thought all in all, when we came out of it, most importantly, healthy. Nothing substantial occurred in the game. So I'll open it up for some questions.
Raise your hand, we'll get your wireless mic. We'll start with Andy.
You guys obviously made a focus of adding some skill guys in the offseason. Do you feel like there's a deeper group of guys that can go out and make plays? And did you see some of that today?
There is, yeah. I think you saw Quan Felton today had a couple of nice catches. I think Ali had a couple of catches. Jalen Lane was nursing a muscle pull, so he wasn't out there. But then, the young guys, the freshmen, even Aiden Green and Marcel Baylor took a hit on his shoulder last week. He really had a good spring. I wanted to see him today, and he couldn't go. Then the development of Tucker Holloway, Stephen Gosnell, I think Xavier Bradshaw. It's just a better-looking room. There's certainly more there. And then, we had 2 tight ends out today, Daquan and Harrison St. Germain. I'd like to see those guys. They weren't able to do a whole lot this spring, so. And then I think out of the backfield, you didn't see it today, but Bayshaw's, he's got good hands. He can do things in the open field, and Malachi's got good hands, and you saw Bryce and Chance. So I do think we have more weapons. There's more things to do with.
How critical is that to have those explosive plays where you don't have to string together a 12, 14-play drive? How much can that help us offense?
Yeah, we needed that. Everybody has those playmakers. Every good team has enough guys that can, get you out of a jam and make a play when the defense is where they're supposed to be. They still come down with it and make something happen. And, we had to earn every yard we got, which wasn't many. But, I think that we're in a better place that way.
What kind of growth and development did you see from Grant Wells today, and particularly in that first quarter?
Yeah, I thought he came out strong. Yeah, that's how he's been all spring, to be honest. He's made good decisions. He's thrown the ball well. He operates the offense really well right now. I think Tyler's done a nice job with that. They're more efficient. Their timing, their tempo, everything looks better to me. I was pleased with Grant today.
And then what kind of improvement did you see from last fall to entering in the spring? What kind of stuff has he done better overall?
We're not a good team yet, but we look closer to it. We look better. We do more things like a good team, that a good team does.
You mentioned the offensive line. You had this white team didn't have it, but maroon, I mean, they were creating some gaps there, and Grant had some time in the pocket. You think that first team really established itself, and do you think Xavier and Jesse have a chance to still crack that top starting unit come fall?
Yeah, Xavier's been working with the ones all spring, and he's just nursing a minor back injury, and we just decided not to. I think he would have played today, and it just wasn't the right thing. But I thought that group did a nice job. I think the offensive line's improved.
Piggybacking off that, Chance Black said earlier this week that the emphasis of the offensive line has been playing on the defensive side of the ball instead of just creating a gap like he said he felt like they did last year. Have you seen that change in mentality with the offensive line, that they're wanting to play on the other side of the ball and get after it and make sure the running backs are not getting contact until 5-6 yards up the field?
The offensive line's doing a better job. I think the team blocks that Coach Crook's emphasizing and the movement at the line of scrimmage is definitely improved. And I think that's probably what Chance is feeling.
I think you named Stephen Gosnell the most improved player on offense. What has he done? What aspects of his game?
Yeah, he's really become more consistent. He showed flashes in the fall. And this winter started in January. He really just came to work every day and leaned up, really got his body looking better, got healthier. I think, sometimes you just see it in a guy when he makes that switch. He throws in and he just becomes more invested, takes a mature approach. And that's what Stephen did, and it's paying dividends for him. He was our most consistent receiver all spring. And I think if he continues to work, he can have a productive campaign.
Accuracy was not a strength of Grant's last season. It was, especially early today. When you said that's how he's been all spring, do you mean that, accuracy?
Yes. Yeah, he's been very accurate, and he's made good decisions. That was important for him today, to make decisions in a game-like environment, particularly in the stadium. I think, even last year, Grant practiced well, but he'd get out there in the game, and sometimes you'd question, the decisions he was making. And I think working with Coach Bowen more closely and just the growth and maturity in the offense, I think there's improvement there.
Hi, Coach. How you doing?
What's up, man?
So your running game was really good on the Maroon side. How does that feel from a head coaching standpoint that you were able to actually get some space and you were able to break off some really good runs? Just from an offensive standpoint, you've made it a huge priority that you got to run the football. How does that feel from that you guys actually got a lot of really good space today?
Yeah, to me, that's the one area that we had to improve in. We have to be able to run the football. It really helps everything else with our offense, with our defense. If we can run the ball, that to me is 100 level foundational stuff, and we're getting better there. You never know when I think we got a pretty good group up front on defense. We got some old heads at D tackle that got some weight on them, can press gaps and do things, and we're still able to get some movement on them guys. So, it's a work in progress, but again, I think the O-line's improved. I think the running backs are doing a better job. I like what's happening in that room. So we still got a ways to go.
We don't see a ton of spring ball, so we sort of see the 2 picks from Kyron today. How would you characterize his entire spring?
I would say it trended upwards. I think as it went, he showed us more and more each practice, each outing, as he got more comfortable. I think today, he had people in his face early, and I don't think he was very confident to start the scrimmage. He didn't look like himself in those first couple of series. Thought he settled down a little bit, but again, you know, he couldn't step into his throws because the pocket was just collapsing on him pretty quick. But, you know, I think he had a good spring. You know, I think he's got to continue to trend, and I think he will. He's a worker, he's intelligent, and he's got good skills. So I like where he's at right now. He just got to keep coming.
How do you leave the quarterback battle? Where do you leave that at the end of spring? And do you anticipate that going well into August?
Yeah, I don't want to say for sure. I mean, I think we're always trying to make sure we get the right guy, you know, at quarterback and any other position, and you take the time you need. You know, so I think that you know, Grant's experience is a factor right now. But to me, we've got two guys that have an opportunity to continue to get better that we could potentially win with. I think both those guys, and you know, I think you know, I'm excited about the room. I think we're better. The room in general is a better room than what we had.
Going off that, Watson, the freshman, had a nice touchdown throw and a couple of plays with his legs too. What kind of stood out about him this spring?
Yeah, he was pretty poised all spring. He's a confident kid that has a lot of savviness, and as you mentioned, he can do it with his feet and he can spin it well. So it's good to see.
Small sample size, duly noted, because he didn't play much, but Holloway last year, 3 catches, 18 yards. Today, 1 for 33, 1 for 39. Can he take the top off of defense?
Yeah, you know, he's another guy that's just developing in the program that's doing a great job. I'm excited for Tuck. We have competition at the wideout position, which we didn't have previously. We've got competition there. There's 5 or 6 guys that have an opportunity to get into that lineup, and he's one of them. Yep. Appreciate everybody.